We are learning more about a former Hamilton County teacher who ended up in a second Chattanooga classroom while under investigation by law enforcement, only to be indicted 2 years after allegations against him surfaced. Today, I reviewed Kenya White's personnel file, which contained a letter showing that on February 17th of 2023, HCDE district officials suspended White without pay because of allegations that he sent inappropriate electronic messages to a student. Now, that letter says that's when law enforcement and the Department of Children's Services launched their investigation. His file shows White was hired as a paraprofessional to work with children with special needs at East Lake Academy. In May, a different letter shows that Hamilton County Schools decided to not renew his contract while law enforcement continued to investigate. And that brings us to just a few weeks ago, 2 years later, when a grand jury indicted him. So the question remains, how did White end up at a public charter school, Chattanooga Preparatory, while still under that investigation? Chat Prep's website shows he was working as a 6th grade guided reading teacher. According to the Department of Children's Services, an authorized charter school is required to perform a DCS background check on applicants for teaching positions. A spokesperson from that department told us, quote, if a public charter school requests a child abuse registry check on an individual who is the subject of an active or ongoing DCS investigation, the individual would be flagged as, quote, not cleared. So here's what we continue to ask Chat Prep. Did they do a DCS check on White when they hired him as required by law? If they did they know he was under investigation for sending inappropriate messages to a student when they put him in their classroom? It's also relevant that White only had a teaching permit, not a license, and the Department of Ed site shows it expired in 2023. We also asked Chattanooga police why it took 2 years for an indictment to come in this case. A CPD spokesperson told us they worked with the DA's office and, quote, the investigation included obtaining digital forensic downloads of device contents and detailed review of the contents by multiple parties.